something with Johnson before he is gone, and so that's going to leave a spot in the rotation. Jeremy Guthrie was optioned back to Buffalo this season, and he pitched last night and struggled, but they're going to let him go down and start, so you're going to have to think that maybe Jeremy Sowers will be pitching on Sunday, I think, with a good opportunity because he's pitching tonight in Buffalo.
And there's your other roster moves.
Edward Mujica has not allowed a run in 38 2/3 innings between Double-A and Triple-A. That's unbelievable. He will join the ball club out of the bullpen. And then Joe Inglet, an infielder, outfielder in 40 games, and an energy guy, but Eric Wedge will try and find him some playing time as well.
We saw both those young men in spring training, and they were both very impressive, and they are on the Indians roster for tonight. Let's take a look now at our Shell pitching matchups, brought to you by your local Shell retailer. Shell, when quality counts.
Well, it's going to be Cliff Lee for the Indians. The left-hander has pitched very well in the month of June. He's also pitched very well here at Jacobs Field this year. He'll go against the future Hall of Famer, Greg Maddux. 325 career wins. Got off to a terrific start this year at 5-0 in the month of April, but has struggled recently. 7-6 on the season. Cliff Lee 5-5, but 4-0 against the National League.
So a tough assignment for Cliff Lee tonight, as Rick said, going against the future Hall of Famer and trying to stop an Indian slide. Stay with us. Starting lineup, first pitch next, right here on Sports Time Ohio. Game 2 of this 3-game series. Cliff Lee on the mound taking his warm-up tosses. Let's take a look at the Cubs batting order. It will be Pierre, Walker, and Ramirez going 1, 2, 3. Todd Walker, the DH tonight. Nevin, Merton, and Cedeno 4, 5, and 6. Jones, Perez, and Blanco 7, 8, and 9. Henry Blanco, another big night last night against the Indians, and he has a 7-game hitting streak going.
Well, Cliff Lee on the mound for the Indians, and in his last start at New York, bested Mike Mussina and the Yankees, getting the win in 6 2/3 innings. 3 earned runs, all solo home runs. One to Cabrera, Rodriguez, and Williams. And in the month of June, 2-0 in his 3 June starts, and has pitched into the 6th and 12 of his 14 starts. Let's take a look at the defense. The Liberty defense, brought to you by Northeast Ohio's #1 Ford Lincoln Mercury dealer. In the outfield, Hollinsworth in left, Grady Sizemore in center, Gutierrez in right, Vasquez the start at third this evening, Peralta at short, Belliard at second, Broussard at first, Martinez behind the plate, and Franklin making his second start in right field. Got a great jump on a ball last night, ran one down in the gap.
Mike Malinsky will call balls and strikes. Jerry Crawford at first base, Phil Cuzzy at second base, and Brian O'Nora at third base. That's your umpiring crew for tonight, as Cliff Lee is set to go. Cliff, fastball, cutter, knuckle curve, and changeup, making his 15th start of the year, and he delivers a strike to Juan Pierre. 71 degrees here at game time. Just a beautiful night for baseball. A few clouds overhead and a breeze. Looks like that wind is blowing across toward the left field foul line just a little bit. It's actually maybe changing directions.
Not much better than last night.
Oh yeah, yes.
And the scattered showers moving through.
That one headed back up the middle. Peralta has it. Will turn and throw, and they got it. Nice play by Ben Broussard. Stayed with it and made a nice sweep on that ball in the dirt.
Yeah, it looked like Peralta tried to rush his throw a little bit, but it was a great pick on the other end by Broussard. He gets him, and you know Pierre can run, so he didn't really have enough time to crank it up and get a good throw over there. So good pick by Broussard to retire Pierre. You want him off the bag, that's for sure.
24 stolen bases for the Cubs leadoff hitter, and now Todd Walker, the DH.
Coming right out with a couple of left-handers up against Cliff Lee. Lefties were 0 for 9 against him in his last start at Yankee Stadium. He was very aggressive in that start.
Todd Walker, 2 for 3 last night. He played first base last night. He is the DH tonight. Take that back. Walker was at second last night. Nevin at first, and John Mabry the DH. Cubs have struggled against left-handed pitching this year. Of course, with their 27-42 record, they have struggled against most pitching. And we talked about it last night. They are last in the league in runs scored.
Well, they did move out of that basement as far as home runs. They moved up to 15 in the league out of 16 with their 3 homers.
In the air to right, back goes Gutierrez, still going back, turned around a couple of times, but able to right himself and make the play.
Well, that's when you. Let's go to our Toyota
Take a
keys
look
to
at our
the game.
Toyota keys to the game, presented by Toyota.
Fun national success. Cliff Lee 4-0 in his career against the National League. See if he can stay perfect.
2 down. Ramirez talking about the Cubs. They are 7-15 against left-handed starters this year. One ball and no strikes on Ramirez. He has been a very good offensive player for the Cubbies.
Well, he's also liked interleague play as well. 297 career hitter.
Well, in the history of the Cubs franchise, and when you read their media guide, I mean, in the back of that guide, when they talk about their history, they go back, they chronicle like starting lineups from 1890. I mean, the first starting lineup ever for the Cubs. This one popped up and out of play, but in the long history of the Chicago Cubs, he is only the third Cubs third baseman to drive in 100 runs. Ron Santo, who is doing their radio broadcast now with Pat Hughes, and Andy Pafko, along with Ramirez. The 2-2 pitch got him with a changeup and a good inning for Cliff Lee. Good start for the lefty. We'll go to the bottom of the first with Sizemore, Hollingsworth, and Peralta coming to bat. First inning, let's take a look at the Indians starting lineup presented by Rico. Move your ideas forward with Rico dependability. Sizemore, Hollingsworth, and Peralta 1, 2, and 3. Todd Hollingsworth 6 for 16 with a home run. Lifetime against Greg Maddux. It will be Hafner, Martinez, and Broussard. After that, then Belliard, Vasquez, and Gutierrez. We have Ronnie Soloff down behind first base. One of the umpires.
Is that Crawford?
Looks like Jerry Crawford, who is going to be taken off the field. As soon as that last out was made, Lonnie Soloff came sprinting over toward first base. At any rate, it looks like we will operate tonight with 3 umpires as you take a look at Greg Maddux.
Jack Efton, maybe the pregame meal.
He can umpire. Yeah.
All right, Greg Maddux will get the start. You can see has struggled a little bit in his last 9 starts at 2-6. Got off to a great start this year, 5-0, had a 135, but always very, very good control. The guy likes to get ahead early, and hitters have had success when they swing at the first pitch off of Greg Maddux, a 420 average.
Maddux started 5-0 for the first time in his career. Of course, making his second tour of duty with the Cubs, came up with the Cubs in 1986, his first appearance, as he misses inside. Went to the Braves in 1993 and stayed with Atlanta before returning to the Cubs in 04.
I mean, he is just the master of a little deception, cutting the ball, changing it, a little change up, moves it around. He's been better against left-handers than he has right-handers.
Now 40 years old, and that's up high. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Greg Maddux with 325 wins. That one lined into right center field, a base hit. Over to cover is Jones as Sizemore will start the ball game off with a single. Ball hit so hard it looked like Perez couldn't. He was close but never could get to it.
Let's set the Cubs defense for you behind Greg Maddux. In the outfield, it'll be Matt Merton in left, Pierre in center, Jack Jones in right. It'll be Ramirez at third, Cedeno at short, Perez at second, Nevin at first, Blanco behind the plate, and has thrown out 42% of the base stealers since 1999. This guy is a solid defensive catcher.
Sizemore at first as Hollingsworth looks at a pitch low and outside. Todd Hollingsworth, as we showed you, good numbers against Greg Maddux. Those are his numbers this year. A home run, 9 RBIs, had a good series, good ball game, drove in 4 runs in New York. Runner going, and the throw to second is not in time. Grady Sizemore got a nice jump. That ball tailed a little bit, and Sizemore steals his 10th base of the year.
Well, you can run on Greg Maddux, and that's the game plan going in. Grady, he is throwing 11 out of 12 now, and you can see that throw. He just gets in. The speed of Sizemore beats that. Had a very good jump. Goes directly into the base.
Tag knocked his helmet off. So he's at second base, nobody out. And Hollingsworth trying to hit that ball to the right side, and they went with a changeup, an off-speed pitch. Had him way out in front. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Roger Clemens, who will be activated, I think he's pitching later this week, is he not? Going to make a start Thursday. This one hit to right field, a base hit. That will score a run. Here comes the throw, but it's not going to be in time as Sizemore slides in, and Hollingsworth goes to second. That throw by Jack Jones way over the head of the cutoff man. And when Hollingsworth saw that, he took off for second base. So first 2 batters here, and the Indians have scored a run.
Well, that's exactly what you look for as a base runner when a guy's trying to score. That outfielder, when you overthrow the cutoff man, you just continue to go to second base and keep right on running. Nobody can cut it, and with the speed of Sizemore, you've got to at least get that cutoff man. He tried to throw it all the way in the air. It short hops Blanco. He could not make a play, and they're lucky that Hollingsworth didn't end up on third base.
So Hollingsworth at second with nobody out. Here's Johnny Peralta. First 2 batters with base hits off Maddux.
Well, and Maddux, as I mentioned, has been better against left-handed batters. They have a 253 average and 6 homers compared to the righties. They're hitting 314.
Pitch. That's down low, 2-0. And Maddux working from behind. He has been looking for his command, hasn't found it yet. This is a good time to get a guy like Greg Maddux before he can settle in. Inside, 3-0.
It's the first regular season start for Greg Maddux against the Indians in the 37th ballpark in which Maddux has pitched in a regular season game.
3-0. Peralta taking a strike at the knees. 3 balls and 1 strike. He was 1-1, as that graphic shows you, in the World Series. A 2.25 earned run average. Lost the game at Jacobs Field, as that's inside, and he walks Peralta. So Maddux has allowed the first 3 base runners to get on base and 1 run to score. Tom Bochenek reminding before the ball game, he remembers Albert Bell hitting a home run off Maddux into the bleachers in right field in the World Series.
Sure was in the bullpen. Bleachers.
The bullpen, right? He did say the bullpen.
Oh, well, you said the bleachers.
I said the bleachers. He said the bullpen. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
That's what I remember it in the bullpen.
Well, you got a good memory too.
It was because they were cheating that first time they faced him. They were given about 6 inches off that plate.
Yep.
Indians hitters were told to move up on the plate. I do remember that home run in the bullpen.
Here's Hafner, 2 on and nobody out. And Hafner takes down low, ball 1. Hafner last night with a 461-foot home run into Pronkville. That was his first visit.
Well, right
Since
now
it's been officially named Pronkville.
Yes, that's true.
He's been up there before.
That is true. Right now, Maddux struggling to find the strike zone, and there's the visit to Pronkville. And I mean, that was about halfway up there.
A quick visit. Got there in a hurry. 2 balls, no strikes. This one headed down the left field side will find the seats and go out of play.
I told him if you get under one and you elevate it a little bit more, what are we going to name if Pronkville's the middle, and what do we name the one up top?
Be a new suburb of Pronkville.
Yeah, the outer limits.
Hollingsworth, the runner at second, Peralta down at first base. 2 balls and 1 strike. After hits it in the air to left, giving chases. Merton reaches up, makes the catch, and tries to get the runner at second base as Hollingsworth is back to the bag. What a nice catch by Merton. When that ball was in, it looked like it was going to get to the gap.
Boy, he did, man. That's a terrific running catch, because that ball, it probably had a little slice coming toward him in that alley. That enabled him to, on the dead run, put the glove up and make the catch. Usually when a left-hander hits it in that gap, it's going to slice a little bit, and it came right back to him, but he does make a fine running catch. Gets it in a hurry, thinking that they were off and running, and both guys were off the base quite a ways, but they get back.
He had to reach out fully extended there on the dead run to haul that line drive down and rob Hafner of extra bases. Here's Victor Martinez, and the pitch is not made as Maddux turns and puts Hollingsworth back to the bag. Victor Martinez has hit in 4 straight, 5 base hits in his last 17 at bats, and he has started to get a little better here in this month of June after really struggling in May.
Well, those are the numbers you speak. 165 in May, 333 in June.
Breaking ball down low. Good stop by the catcher. Yeah, he has hit in 14 of 15 games as Victor Martinez here in the month of June. 1-1 pitch. Victor hits one back up the middle, a base hit. Rounding third and heading home is Hollingsworth. Here comes the throw to the plate. It is cut off, and the Indians lead 2-0. Victor Martinez with a solid base hit to center field. His 46th run batted in of the year. Right now, Greg Maddux not fooling anybody.
Now a big 2-out hit there by Victor. You know, after hit the ball right on the nose. Excuse me, 1 out. I'm sorry. There you see, looking away, got that ball, took it right back up. So even with the after out, you're right. He is not fooling many people.
There's Ben Broussard. Ben watches a fastball go by over the outside corner. I say fastball, Rick. I think it was. It said 84 miles an hour. But this guy will, as we said, he'll add and subtract. He'll throw a fastball maybe 84 to 89. Cutter inside there, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Never was overpowering, but he will throw all 4 pitches. Fastball, slider, curveball, and change. And as we've said, he changes speeds on every pitch that he throws. Check swing there, and it's fouled off.
Well, and where he's been successful in his career, he's averaged in his career now figuring 325 wins, just about 13 pitches an inning. And I mean, he has gone out and thrown games in 80 to 90 pitches, and I'm talking complete games.
Well, right now he has thrown 24 here in this inning, and it's even 12 balls and 12 strikes.
Yeah, he's nasty when he's ahead of you, and then he expands that zone by 3 or 4 inches on the plate. But he's been struggling to get to that strike zone.
Inside, and it's a ball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The question, one of the questions is, will he pitch again next year? The 2-2 pitch, and Maddux says, I'm just worried about the next start. I'm not worried about next year yet.
That's pretty true. I mean, you go out there and he started off beautifully this year, 5-0, and he's been struggling. So I mean, you go out there and you just go start to start.
This is his 3rd year with the Cubs, and he is a contract 2 this year. Came back with an off-speed pitch, and Broussard able to stay alive.
A 4-time Cy Young Award winner. Won it 92, 93, 94, 95. Look at 13th all-time in strikeouts, 13th all-time in career wins. And the stat that just blows my mind. 15 plus wins in 17 straight years. As we talked about consistency and being there, and somebody you can rely on and count on.
Hit well to center field. Back goes Pierre, still going back. He's got it. And nobody will advance. Peralta tried to get back to the bag and tag, but didn't get back soon enough. And so that's another hard hit ball, but Pierre able to track that one down. Everything this inning so far has been hit right on the nose. But there are 2 outs now. 2-0 Indians. A walk and 3 base hits. Ronnie Belliard. He has faced Maddux 19 times in his career, and Ronnie has 4 base hits. In fact, Ramon Vasquez, who is in the lineup at 3rd base tonight, is 2 for 5 lifetime against Maddux. Only guys who have seen him have been folks who have played in the National League. Cliff Lee with a very efficient first inning, retiring the side in order, struck out a batter. Now has a 2-0 lead. Belliard line drive, base hit down the left field side. Peralta will score. Martinez is being held at 3rd as Belliard drives in a run with a 2-out double. Ronnie with his 32nd run batted into the year, and it's 3-0 Indians.
You know, he nailed the outside corner on Ronnie with consecutive pitches and then went with the breaking ball and left it upstairs. And you can see he's upset with himself now. He realizes the location of this pitch. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. And that ball was up there, and Ronnie teed off on it, stayed on top and pulled it down the line, enables Peralta to come in to score, Martinez to go to 3rd base. So Belliard with his 14th double. Well, and you can see the location has to be there for Greg Maddux.
Yeah, Ronnie Belliard, that ball, even when it broke into the zone in the hitting area, it was almost letter high. So Belliard picked out a high curveball and doubled for the 3rd run of the ball game. Now Vasquez takes a strike. Martinez at 3rd, Belliard at 2nd base. And Ramon Vasquez, who we told you has had good numbers, only 5 at bats, but he has 2 base hits against Maddux. Martinez Peralta, the base runners, with Ramon Vasquez at the plate. 1-1 pitch. Fastball strike, and it's 1-2. I say fastball, Rick, and once again, just looking at the scoreboard out there, that only registered 84 miles an hour.
That's about what it's been.
I don't think we've seen him any harder than that.
No, 85, I think I saw one.
For Vasquez, the Cub outfield shaded toward left, gapped in right center and down the right field line for Ramon. They struck him out, backed away to Vasquez, but the umpire at home plate, Malinsky, brings up Ramon. The Indians do damage here in the first. They score 3 and lead at 3. Rico, move your ideas forward with Rico dependability. By your Northern Ohio Toyota dealers, Toyota moving you ahead. By Continental Airlines, work hard, fly right. And by your Northeast Ohio, Toledo, and Youngstown area, Buffalo Wild Wings Grill and Bar, the home of the real wing, and your big screen sports headquarters. Mike Egan, Rick Manning with you back here at Jacobs Field. A good first inning for the Indians. They scored 3 runs on 4 hits against Maddux. And now Cliff Lee will go to work against Phil Nevin. And Lee delivers high and outside, ball 1.
Now here's where you want your pitchers, and we have talked about this before when we call them like response runs. 69 games this year. The Indians have given runs back to their opponents 59 times for 133 runs. Or 37% of the runs given up right after they score. And that's probably, and the pitchers know this, the most important inning after your team scores is to go out there and try and put a 0 on the board.
One ball, 2 strikes outside from Cliff Lee. Talk about the wins and winning percentage for Greg Maddux. Cliff Lee had a pretty good year last year. He led the American League in winning percentage, and he gets Nevin there, his second strikeout of the night. Let's take a quick look at our Central Cadillac update, courtesy of Central Cadillac. Jeremy Bonderman, first Tiger pitcher with 12+ strikeouts in 2 straight games since Mickey Lolich in 1971.
Well, you know, we've seen that guy a number of times, and if that slider's working, Mike,
he's capable.
Yes, yep. He is. He is definitely capable.
Now the Tigers have gotten good pitching, good hitting. Inside to Matt Merton, who made a good catch in left field, robbed Travis Hafner. It could have been worse for Maddux in the first inning.
Right now he's trying to break out of an 0 for 16 slump. Goes back to the 11th of June, and he has hit well against lefties this year.
Strike called at the knees on the outside corner. The Cubs are trying to mix in some young people, some veterans. They have had injuries, as this one is fouled off. Merton, 24 years old, played briefly with the Cubs last year, but this is only his 4th year in professional baseball. Started in 2003. He was in the Red Sox organization. Fouled off the mask, I believe it got Victor. In fact, he was involved in that Nomar Garcia Parra trade with the Red Sox. One-two pitch. A bit outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ronnie Cedeno to follow here. The Indians trying to stop a losing streak at 4 games. Full count now. But Cliff Lee last year 18-5, and his career winning percentage, Rick, is .645. He's 140, lost 22, so he has been a big winner. I'll tell you, if your winning percentage career is over 600, 60%, that's pretty darn good. And he loses Merton. So Lee walks his first batter. The Cubs have their first base runner of the night, and here's Ronnie Cedeno.
Well, when you talk about Cliff's winning percentage, it's the 9th highest mark of all active pitchers with at least 40 wins today.
Cedeno lifts it in the air behind second base. Out goes Belliard, backpedaling now. Ronnie's under. And has it. I think he didn't feel that it was going to carry that far, but he made the play, and there are 2 down. Two outs. Here's the former Twin, Jock Jones. One of the problems for Jock Jones playing every day here, playing tonight against the left-hander, but there were times when, especially their throw to second base, and it's not in time. So stolen base, Cubs running with 2 outs, even though they're down 3 runs here.
Well, they took off on first movement there on Cliff Lee. He was not paying attention to him, and he just took off. Had a terrific jump. Victor had a pitch that was running down and away. You can see Merton goes in, his 3rd stolen base.
That is the 60th stolen base of the year against the Indians. They've thrown out only 10. But Jock Jones was having some problems. Against left-handed pitching. In fact, last year hit just 200. One ball and 2 strikes. Headed back up the middle. Belliard in short center field. Bobbles the ball. Here's the throw to the plate. And it's going to get by Martinez. A run will score, and the runner, Jock Jones, going to try for third base. Here's the throw to third. It's in the dirt. Stopped by Vasquez. Boy, the Indians playing very sloppy defensively there.
Well, that's a time that Belliard got beat from playing deep. With Jock Jones, he was playing way back on the grass. And a backhanded play that at least he could have stopped from that guy from scoring, but he never quit. See, he peeked in there to see if he was rounding third, and he was. It was a bad throw home. Gets by Victor, who loses his footing. And Jock Jones goes all the way to third base. So that may be at least one error. Could be 2. There could be 2. You know, for the guy scoring, and then for the bad throw to allow Jones to go to third base. That could vary. That's it.
And they do put up 2 errors on the board. They will give a base hit as this ball headed toward the gap. Hollingsworth sliding makes the catch to end the inning, but the Cubs score a run. They answer with a run here in the top of the 2nd inning. We'll go to the bottom of the inning with the score: the Indians 3 and the Cubs 1. Franklin Gutierrez at the plate against Greg Maddux. Gutierrez watches the ball go low and outside, ball 1. So a pair of errors charged to Ronnie Belliard to allow that run to score. Strike call, 1 ball and 1 strike. It will go as an unearned run. But the fact remains, the Cubs get on the board
And there's that other response from we were talking about.
Ramirez on the run, throws, and they got him.
Boy, how was that? Beautiful play by Cedeno to get that ball and just in one motion put something on that throw and get it over to Nevin at first base. Look at how quick he got rid of that ball on the dead run. That was a terrific play. Well, that and his whole momentum running away from the plate. That's a strong arm right there.
Strong arm, quick feet, doesn't he? And Nevin, you could see Nevin, Rick, struggling. He was looking right into that sun, which is setting behind the home run porch there in left field. Nevin looking right into the sun. 1-0 pitch. Sizemore takes a strike.
There you go. There's a little look at
that's
it.
what he's looking at.
It's almost like if you don't have the glasses, you better use that glove to shade it.
Yep. Blind foul. Remember playing at the old ballpark in Toronto.
Yes.
When that sun would go down at Exhibition Stadium. Boy, you played first base there. And you literally could not see the pitcher looking at it. 1-2 on Sizemore, who started the Indians' first inning with a base hit, had a stolen base and scored a run, and takes strike 3 call for Maddux, who has now struck out 2 of his last 3 batters.
Well, make your plans today to attend the biggest and best fireworks show of the season. It's called Rock and Blast, and it'll all happen Friday night when the Cincinnati Reds are in town. And the skies will be lit up with fireworks, and it'll all be synced to music. If you would like tickets, stop by an Indians team shop, the box office, or visit Indians.com.
2 hopper to second. A little easier inning here for Greg Maddux as he retires the Indians in order. 2 complete, 3-1 drive. Jacob Field with the Indians leading 3-1. Last 3 innings, actually the 9th inning last night and the first inning tonight, the Indians have scored 7 runs on 8 hits against Cubs pitching. But last night, too little too late in that ball game.
Right, that's right.
And in case you missed it, the Indians did make roster moves today. Jason Johnson, who started and lost last night's game, was designated for assignment today. And Jeremy Guthrie, who struggled in relief, was sent back to Buffalo. Pitch is inside to Henry Blanco, the catcher.
Well, Guthrie hadn't pitched in 9 days because he was starting. He starts down at Buffalo, and he comes up here and he's into the bullpen. So he hadn't pitched in a while. They want him to get back there and get on his every 5-day rotation.
2-1 on Blanco. They recalled Edward Mujica, a right-handed pitcher. We saw him in spring training, and Joe Inglet, who is an infielder, outfielder. Jason Michaels still day-to-day, so the Indians playing a bit short-handed. And Mujica, what a year he has had at AA and AAA. Hasn't given up a run, and it's the middle of June.
Yeah, an earned run.
Popped up first base in foul territory now is Ben Broussard, and that is the first out here in the 3rd inning.
Well, it's the showdown of Ohio when the Indians take on the Cincinnati Reds. That'll be Saturday at 1:25. All fans attending will receive a flashlight courtesy of our friends at First Merit. You can call 216-420-HITS for your tickets.
Line drive toward the gap in center field. Sizemore gets there and makes the catch. What a play by Grady Sizemore. Boy, did he close the gap on that ball. And Sizemore takes one away from Juan Pierre. 2 out.
Well, Grady, you can see he's playing him in the left center field. Gets a good jump on that ball and just flat out outruns it. I think maybe Pierre thinking that ball's going to find some room, but being a center fielder himself, he realizes those guys can close the gap in a hurry.
Todd Walker with 2 outs now. He flied to right. We've seen a couple of good plays defensively. One by Merton of the Cubs in the first inning. Robbed Travis after, and a nice running catch here by Grady Sizemore. On the ground, big hop for Belliard. And 1, 2, 3 go. The Cubs in the 3rd inning will head to the bottom of the inning. 3-1 Indians. That were made today and before the ball game, Indians GM Mark Shapiro was asked if there were any trades in the immediate future.
See a trade that will make us a better team, either significantly better in the future or better this year and the future, we'll do it. But everybody around this team is still coming here every day trying to get better and trying to win now. How realistic that is to get back in the race, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Our goal right now is to get better each day, and that's all we're focused on. Doesn't mean we won't consider trades. Doesn't mean we're not talking about them. But I think our primary goal right now is still to make this team better, not to trade players, not to pull the plug or anything like that. That's not a word that's in our vocabulary.
So that's Indians GM Mark Shapiro talking about deals or not making deals. And Rick, we've talked to Mark, and I think right now, as Peralta fouls it, they're trying to take care of the problems from within on the field and see if they can cure some of these ills and move forward with what they have right now.
They have to do it that way. I mean, because you've got guys that are locked in, like Peralta, like Sizemore, like Hafner, like Victor, like CC. I mean, that's the things that are going on, and you just don't. Okay, this guy's not playing well. We've got to trade somebody and get him in place. It doesn't happen that way.
The one thing that looks like it will happen is on Sunday. If I think Sauer's pitching tonight, or
yes,
yeah, he's pitching tonight. And
Buffalo.
Mark was saying if everything goes well and he is healthy, no problems after the ball game, he's slotted in for Sunday.
Well, and Sauers will be up here on Thursday for a bullpen session. And get through it and see what happens. And I'll activate him on Saturday to pitch Sunday.
0-2 pitch. Peralta hits a ground ball to short. Cedeno gets his counterpart. One out here in the 3rd inning. Well, I think there's been a lot of fanfare about Jeremy Sauers, and it has built, Rick, because Jason Johnson was struggling, and with every start that he had problems, people looking to want the Indians to make a change. And, I mean, a guy like Jason Johnson, yeah, he's in his career, he's been below 500, but you made a deal for him, and just like you were saying, you got to have some patience, and I guess last night was the final straw.
Right, and I mean, you've got this kid who was a #1 draft pick in Jeremy Sauers a couple of years ago that has, really progressed at every step of the way. And, because you sign a guy, and not every signee that you make is going to pan out and do good for you. There are going to be some busts.
I talked to a scout a couple of weeks ago who had been scouting the Indians organization at the big league level in Akron and Buffalo, and he felt that Sauers could pitch in the big leagues right now. Hit high and fairly deep to center field. Pierre back, and this ball is going to die out there in front of the warning track, and Hafner has 2 long outs here in the 3rd inning. Well, tonight's Down on the Farm report is brought to you by your good neighbor, State Farm agents of Northeast Ohio, Bob Kanda of Seven Hills, and Debbie George of Mentor, your agents for tonight's game. And the short seasons begin play. Mahoning Valley tonight, Burlington tomorrow, and the Gulf Coast team, the Indians Gulf Coast team, will also play tomorrow. That's Winter Haven.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But he was saying he felt that Sauers could handle himself at the big leagues right now if he didn't have to go up against the top of the rotation.
I mean, the number one,
number two guy. If you get him down and face the number 4, number 5 guys.
Well, we will see on Sunday.
Line drive, left field. There is the left fielder Merton, and there are 2 out. Or make that 3 out. That will retire the side. 3 complete. It is 3-1 Indians. but very comfortable. 71 degrees here at game time. As you look at the folks in the stands, nice crowd on hand. Our Buffalo Wild Wings wing cam overhead. Cliff Lee, who has thrown 41 pitches in his 3 innings of work, 24 of those have been strikes, so almost 60% strikes. And that's to start Aramis Ramirez.
Well, that's how Cliff pitched in his last game at New York. He just kept going at guys, way ahead of the count. He did give up 3 solo home runs, but they had a lead for him, so he stayed aggressive. He did walk one guy, but that was later.
Well, that was, I thought, the difference between Cliff last year, Rick, and for instance, early this season when he struggled. That strike one just didn't seem to be there. He was having command problems, high pitch counts.
And I think this year when Cliff had his rough month of May.
Jam job right there.
Yeah, I mean, he struggled. He hit bumps in the road in the game. He had a rough inning, where he would give up maybe a 3-run or he'd be cruising along and then all of a sudden, boom. Because this year, in 15 times he's allowed 2 or more runs in an inning, 7 times 3 or more.
Ran that cutter inside and straightens up Ramirez. Full count now with nobody out. It will be Ramirez, Nevin, and Merton here in the 4th inning for the Cubs. Went inside again and missed. So Ramirez has now struck out and walked. Second walk given up by Cliff Lee, and a runner on with nobody out here in the 4th inning for the Cubs. Eric Wedge would like to see this streak stop at 4. He is swept by Milwaukee, and that one lined right at the 3rd baseman. Vasquez was there to pick it out of the air. It was hit so hard that really Ramirez didn't have any chance to get off the bag.
You're right. I mean, that ball right into the tracks of Vasquez, and Ramirez stayed right there. He never left. So he didn't have to worry about getting back. Well, there's 2 things that Eric Wedge wants this team to start doing. First of all, you got to start playing better in that first game of the series, where they've lost their last 9 first games of the series. They've lost 5 consecutive series, and that's the goal. That you come into every series, you try and win 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4. The only series they've won in the last 8 was the 3 out of 4 from Chicago, and they lost the first game in that series.
Now you lose that first game, you spot the team game 1. It's tough to come back and win a series. Ramirez, the base runner, with a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Matt Merton. Now time is called.
Matter of fact, and when you want to talk about that, in game 2 of the series, after they had lost, they're 8. The starters are 4-2 with an ERA of 2.10. So that second game, or that middle game, they have really gone out there and given the Indians what they've needed. But it's that third game that has faltered with them as well. When you have a chance to win a series, but you're not able to close it out.
Meeting at the mound has broken up, and now a 1-ball, 1-strike count on Merton as Lee is ready. This one hopped up over towards right center field is Sizemore, and he's got it. Merton, the second out here in the 4th inning. Well, the Indians conclude the series with the Cubs right here at Jacobs Field tomorrow night. If you can't make it to the ballpark, be sure to tune in to Sports Time Ohio for complete coverage, starting with Indians on deck at 6:30, followed by the game action at 7. It's the Indians and the Cubs. It's right here tomorrow night on Sports Time, Ohio. And it will be CC.
Nice pitching match.
And Carlos Zambrano.
Yes, indeed.
Both pitchers 5 and 3. Earned run average of 308 for CC, 2.82 for Zambrano. Outside with the fastball.
Big, strong left-hander going against a big, strong right-hander.
Cedeno popped to Belliard his first time up and hits this one a liner to center field, but right there is Sizemore, and Grady will handle it. 2 straight putouts for Sizemore here in the 4th. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning, 3-1 Indians. Off for the Indians in the 4th inning. Broussard, Belliard, and Vasquez as Ben takes outside, ball 1. Benny lined out to center field in the 1st inning. Batting average now at 332. A little chopper over the mound. Going to be a tough play for the second baseman. Sets, throws, and a nice play by Nefi Perez to get Ben Broussard. Made that play the only way he could, Rick, with the bare hand.
Well, a former shortstop and a Gold Glove shortstop at that. And he does barehand it, the only play he had. And that's a very athletic play, good play to retire Broussard. And looks like Greg Maddux has made that adjustment to make, to get those corners and get that ball cutting and sinking the way he wants to now.
Gave up 3 runs on 4 hits in the 1st inning. Since then has retired 8 in a row. He got Vasquez to end the inning. Has retired the side in order, the 2nd and the 3rd, and now he gets Broussard in the 4th inning, and it's 0-2. In fact, he came into this inning having thrown 54 pitches, but Rick, he threw 36 pitches in the 1st inning.
Yeah, and that's he hung a breaking ball. He didn't have control in that 1st inning. He was really searching, feeling for it, falling behind the hitters. Look at that. He's got it locked. He's got it going now.
Found that outside corner on Belliard. That's his 3rd strikeout.
And all of them have been called. Well, kids, Fun Day returns. That'll be Sunday against the Cincinnati Reds. All kids receive a Cliff Lee baseball mitt. That'll be courtesy of Subway. And the Gateway Plaza will be full of exhibits, inflatables. Stop by for tickets. Visit Indians.com or 216-420-HITS.
Here's Vasquez. First pitch from Maddux, runs upstairs. 1-0 on Ramon. Aaron Boone getting the night off. Vasquez playing 3rd base. Looks like a change-up, an off-speed pitch there. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Maddux this year has been just very, very tough when he's from the full windup. When he has had runners on base, opposition is hitting 377. So the key is to get one of the first guys on early and get him in the stretch. And what happened in that first inning? Sizemore got a base hit, then Hollinsworth base hit. He walked somebody, a line drive out, and they continued to pound the baseball with him out of the stretch. But from the full windup, he's done a great job. He's just mowed him down.
That is foul. Greg Maddux won 4 straight Cy Young Awards, 92, 93, 94, and 95. Popped him up in the shallow left. Backpedaling Cedeno, in comes Merton. Merton makes the call, makes the play, and Maddux has retired 10 in a row. 4 in the books, 3-1 Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. by your good neighbors, State Farm agents of Northeast Ohio. By Key Bank, banking home of the Indians. And by Ford, visit your local Ford store today. Ford will take you there. 3-1 Indians, top of the 5th inning now. Cliff Lee will face Jack Jones. And drops a breaking ball down low, ball 1.
Now this is how the Chicago Cubs scored back in the 2nd inning. Jones got a base hit. Belliard was playing back on the grass. Went for a backhanded stab. Man on second base and never stopped. And Belliard ended up getting 2 errors on the play for Merton to come around and score. He got the infield single, but he ended up on third base after a misplay by Belliard.
Breaking ball, that's his strike. That dropped in there, and it really flinched. You could see Jones flinch there. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Lee ready. And that one hit on the ground. Peralta can't get it. It's into center field, a base hit. A diving Johnny Peralta, but he can't get that sharp ground ball. And Jack Jones has 2 base hits tonight against Cliff Lee.
Well, Cliff came back with that same pitch you got him, locked him up with. If you see, they're going with the curveball. There's the fastball. Comes back and gets it 1-2, and then came back again just inside. That ball almost went under the glove of Peralta.
Looked like it didn't.
He was over dough on that ball.
Yep. Perez takes a strike. Perez, a switch hitter. We have a report on Jeremy Sowers tonight, pitching in Indianapolis, has gone 3 2/3 innings so far. Still pitching in the 4th inning. Has allowed 2 runs on 4 hits, struck out 3, has not walked a batter. Nephi Perez, as you called it, Rick, a Gold Glove shortstop. We saw him in Kansas City. Played for a while with the Royals. Also in Colorado.
Well, he's a guy that defensively he could certainly play. Offensively has had his struggles. So, you know, if you get him on a good offensive team, you can utilize that glove in his defense.
Pretty much goes up there hacking. He doesn't let a whole lot go by.
No, he does not.
That one hit fairly well to left center field. Back goes Sizemore at the warning track, reaches up and makes the catch.
They started Jones. They started Jones playing a little hit and run as Dusty Baker. With Nephi Perez, not a big power hitter. That ball died at the track. Sizemore caught up to it. Jones goes back.
Here's Blanco with 1 out. Runner at first base is Jack Jones. See if anything's happening here. He's going, and they hit the hit and run on. So
how about that?
Put it right back on. Back-to-back pitches here.
Boy, they sure did. They sure did. Trying to get something going with the bottom of his lineup. The 9th place hitter, although Blanco, he's a .352 career hitter against the Indians. A .436 hitter in this ballpark in his 14 games, and had a career-high 4 RBIs last night.
High and outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. There's a strike. 1 and 2. Of course, Blanco is going to see a lot of action in the next 9 days because Michael Barrett on the suspended list has a 10-game suspension.
Started serving that yesterday, the first game of the series. And Michael Barrett, actually the catchers have been playing very well for Dusty Baker in the month of June. Blanco was hitting 600. Michael Barrett was hitting just over 400.
Blanco's still hitting. Pretty good speed on the bases. Jack Jones rounding. And he's going to come on. The throw to the plate is in time. They got it.
Well, and that's a pretty clutch play there because Todd Hollingsworth overthrew his cutoff man Peralta down in left field, and it was a heads-up play. I believe it was Vasquez who got it and just flipped it to Victor in time to get Jones. Blanco gets a double down the line, and let's watch this play take place. He gets it and overthrows it, and there's a heads-up Vasquez staying right there. Gives a quick relay. That's a good play.
Good play, good tag by Victor Martinez.
And Vasquez made that play right there, and Victor blocking the plate, cutting Jones off as he applies the tag, so that'll go 7-5-2.
So 2 outs. Big assist there by Vasquez. Rick, maybe we can, and I don't know if we'll have time to do it here, but we can redo that play and talk about how it's set up. He was an outfielder, and then the cutoff as that's a strike. It almost looked like Johnny Peralta went out too far.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because this is a short left field down here, and you don't have. I mean, if Hollingsworth is going to throw him out, he's got to throw it deeper than that.
Well, I agree. I agree there because, you know, that when they turn and they try and make a throw, you're not going to throw it 60, 70.
That's all he would have thrown it. If he hits the cutoff man, that's all he's going to throw it.
That's true. You're right. He probably went out a little too far. But, you know, in that situation, you've got to know how deep the wall is, who's out there. That's a good point. That's all part of knowing your cutoff, your relays, and your players.
This one popped up. Belliard will start batting out, come in on the dirt, makes the catch, and the inning is over. Big play at the plate, and the Cubs fail to score. Indians lead it 3-1. Play at the plate. Let's pick it up, Rick. And we're talking about Peralta maybe going out too far. Here, take another look. Is a good throw by Hollingsworth.
But you see how, I mean, you're right. That would have made a little longer throw for Johnny if he goes out there, the farther he goes out. So that's knowing, getting back a little bit. That wasn't a far throw from the 325 mark for Hollingsworth. No. I mean, the play was made. It was done by Vasquez very nicely, but maybe Peralta should have been back a little.
Well, it was a good play by Vasquez because he reacted to the ball, came to the ball, and got a big hop. And Maddux steals a strike to Franklin Gutierrez. Maddux has now retired 10 in a row since giving up 3 runs on 4 hits in the first inning.
And you can see the movement of these pitches now. When he gets ahead, he's taking a little bit off. He's subtracting, as you said earlier. He likes to add and subtract. And we're talking maybe put a little more velocity or take a little off with movement. Sinking, cutting action.
We talked about it in the first inning, Rick. If you're going to get this guy, get him early before he can settle in. Over the mound, charged by the shortstop. Cedeno on the run, throws out Gutierrez. 1 out in the 5th.
Well, looking for a great way to entertain business associates, friends, or family? Look no farther. Select team and party suites remain for the New York Yankees series. That'll take place July 3rd through the 6th. Space is limited. Call 216-420-HITS today to learn more.
Grady Sizemore 1 for 2, singled, stole second, and scored the first run of the ball game in the first inning. Struck out in the second inning. Maddux has struck out 3. All 3 have been called third strikes. Boy, he gets you leaning out there, and then with those, it turns those things over and gets you thinking about hooking that ball. See what he does here. 2 pitches in about the same area. Rick down and away, turning them over.
Gonna run one in.
And didn't get it in. This ball's gonna get out of here. Sizemore with the home run. Tried to get it in, sneak it by Grady, and couldn't do it. Sizemore with his 13th home run of the year. And the Indians lead it 4-1. Well, I think the club's finding if you're going to go in there on Grady Sizemore, you better get it in.
Watch how quick he is to the baseball. 2 pitches away, and that ball came back over. You see, when he missed, he didn't miss in out, he missed over the plate. And he knows better that those things will go a long way. That wasn't a cutter either, Mike. He's got that little tail comeback fastball that he'll throw inside. That's like the little cutter there, but that was an 0-2 count.
The 0-2 pitch. You don't see Greg Maddux miss it that way on too many of those. And Sizemore is 2 for 3 on Greg Maddux. Indians now lead it 4-1. 5 base hits for the Tribe. Collinsworth jammed. 2 down. That is the 8th home run of the year allowed by Maddux. Umpire came out to the mound and threw that ball out of play, didn't he?
Well, he checked on it. That was another bat shattered at home plate as Hollingsworth left it back there. It looked like it came around and hit Blanco.
Two down, an 0-1 count on Johnny Peralta. Peralta walked and scored in the first inning. He has hit in 5 in a row.
Well, that big difference for Johnny are the little hands coming down a little bit in his swing. So he has been a lot more successful in the last 5 games.
Well, Rick, we talked about it a little bit last night, the difference between Peralta before the adjustment and after the adjustment. They built a little graphic here in the pictures. There you see the difference. It's a small difference, isn't it?
Well, look at that left arm, how stiff it is, and it's straight out compared to a little flex in that one, and his hand's a little more compact where it lets him get through the baseball.
And he gets through that baseball right there, down into the right field corner. Johnny's going to go for second, and he will be in with a double. So Peralta continues his hot hitting. Now 6 in a row, and that is an opposite field double for Johnny Peralta.
That's what he's been doing. I mean, when he's got a little more flex in his arm, he's been able to go to right field, to center field, to right center, and that's his power. And there's the look at it. Look at it. Boy, he was out front but kept his hands back, and
that's the same pitch that we showed that he really searched for that ball when his hands were high. It's amazing. The body stays back, the hands stay back, and a small adjustment like that.
Hit the ball where it's pitched.
And you hit it where it's pitched. And as a result, Johnny's raised his batting average over 20 points in a very short period of time. From 222 to 252 during the streak. And tonight he's 1 for 2. 0-1 after backs away, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike on Travis, who has hit the ball hard twice, but 2 flyouts. Bronk.
They're up in Bronxville.
That's way up there.
That's about where he hit it yesterday.
Yeah. Who's their choreographer out there? tell you, you can hear them cheering from here. You can hear them yelling Kronk. Those are the card carriers out there.
The Pronkettes.
The Pronkettes. They're doing a little dance. Kronk and the Pronkettes, huh? Hit it out on the end of the bat. Throw across from Cedeno will get halfway to end the fifth, but Grady Sizemore with number 13 has given the Indians a 4-1 lead. And the solo shot by Grady Sizemore to make it a 4-1 ball game. In between, Greg Maddux had retired 11 in a row and tried to sneak a fastball inside by Sizemore and didn't get it in. Todd Walker, the DH tonight, 0 for 2. It will be Walker, Ramirez, and Nevin against Cliff Lee. Cliff Lee 2-0 in his last 3 starts.
Yeah, in the month of June, pitched very well. I told you he's 4-0 against the National League in his career. You know, when Cliff gets on a roll, he won 9 straight games last year in the second half.
He and CC.
Well, we'll see the big man tomorrow. Jake's pitching very well. That's what they need. They've got to get into a groove, and those starters got to go out there and start putting together 3 or 4 quality starts each for the Indians to actually turn this around. Because when you get a pitch game like is going on right now, as far as Cliff, everything looks cleaner, doesn't it? I mean, when you're pitching well, the whole team looks good.
Inside misses, and it's a full count. Well, when the Indians get 6 innings or more from their starters, they are 9 games above 500. This one lifted foul over near the seats. Giving chase is Vasquez, and he runs out of room. Rick, when they get 6 innings or less, the team's record is 4-20.
Well, the thing of it is, though, they've lost 7 of their last 9 when they've gotten 6.
Yeah,
so that says the offense is there, and the bullpen is giving it up from the 6th inning on. But I mean, the starters over their last dozen to 15 games have been lengthening it out.
Popped up same side, this time playable in foul territory over in the third base coach's box. And Walker flies out to Vasquez.
Well, fans always traveling and missing games, watch games live online wherever you are away from Cleveland, exclusively from MLB.TV. Indians.com has more live games than anyone else. Indians.com, where baseball is always on. I'm sure we have the offsetter watching us tonight. MLB.com.
Our buddy John Sanders down in Pittsburgh. You're enjoying it, Johnny? He makes all the road trips. He hasn't made many homestands yet this year, has he?
No. I'm going to call him the road warrior.
Yeah. That one good cut by Ramirez, but foul back. He's got a nice swing. Ramirez. The batting average down a little bit, 255, but 12 home runs.
When you don't have a Derek Lee in your lineup to back you up, and we talked about this last night, this guy, you can pitch around, and you don't have to go out and throw him quality strikes. That's like taking a Hafner out of your lineup if you're the Indians. I mean, Derek Lee was running for the Triple Crown last year over there and had some kind of year in Chicago, and has been out, with a hand problem.
And that's one of the reasons why they went out and got Phil Nevin. Hit well, center field. Back goes Sizemore, looking up, and it is gone. A home run. Sizemore didn't come back with it. Went up and over, and finally the umpire at third base made the call. Good effort by Grady Sizemore, but Ramirez has his 13th home run of the year to dead straight away center field, just over the wall. And it's a 4-2 ball game.
Grady just ran out of room. That wall it was about a step late and just ran out of room because Ramirez smoked this ball. Hit it well. He had a beat on it and was right in line with it, but there you go. Couldn't get there in time.
Another ball hit well, but not well enough as the right fielder Gutierrez able to handle it. 2 down.
Come right back and answer that home run by the Indians. Do the Cubs.
That has been a problem for the Indians this year. When they have scored runs, the opposition has been able to come back a run scoring inning by the Indians and add to their own. Merton hits a shot to left field, so the Cubs up there swinging at the first pitch early in the count against Cliff Lee. That is the 5th base hit of the night for Chicago. Second time that Merton has been on, and Carl Willis will head to the mound.
You know, when hitters do, and Cliff Lee is a fastball pitcher primarily. He'll come at you and challenge you with the fastball. And Cliff, with an 0-0 count, hitters are hitting .422 off him on first pitch. So they're going to get aggressive. They're looking for that first pitch fastball. And, you know, they may be aggressive and go get after it. He's given up 4 home runs on the first pitch.
15 in total this year for Cliff Lee, home runs. So the runner at first base with 2 out, and Ronnie Cedeno 0 for 2 has hopped to second base, line to center field.
He's a good-looking young shortstop.
Boy, he's got good range, doesn't he?
Good range, quick feet, and a very good arm, and offensively he's not too shabby.
Not much power, but he's hitting .290, .287 now with the 0 for 2 tonight.
Well, a youngster, though. He may develop a little bit of power, but you can play that shortstop position like he can.
Chase right there, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Cedeno is young. Ramirez has been around, but he is only 27 years old. He'll be 28 later in June. Dusty Baker scuffling through a tough year for the Cubs. They were picked by a lot of folks to win the division this year. That one headed toward the gap in right center field, but closing is Gutierrez, and he makes the play. Some pretty good speed out there in right and in center for the Indians, and Gutierrez able to make the play, but the Cubs score 1. It's 4-2 Indians. Who has allowed 4 runs on 6 hits. Martinez, an RBI base hit in the first inning, line to left field his last time up. And the count starts off with ball 1. That's outside. It's 2-0. Rick Maddux is a guy that when you watch him, he gets in that set position right there, holds the glove, same spot every time, and every time he comes at you, everything out of his hand looks the same.
Yeah, it sure does.
But it's going to have just a little bit more or a little bit less, a little bigger break, a little less break.
And he's one of those pitchers where when after he's done releasing it, he is in excellent fielding positions. You see he's retired 13 of the last 15 because he's won 15 Gold Gloves. There's only one other guy, I think Jim Cott, as a pitcher, the left-hander we saw in New York. I think he won 16.
Yeah.
But I mean, 15 Gold Gloves.
Jimmy Cott, Brooks Robinson are the only 2 who have won more. Well, he's never been overpowering, so there you see him. You were right. Cott, Brooks won 16. That's Jim Cott. There's another guy who talk about deserving some Hall of Fame recognition.
Sure, he's just under 300
Yeah.
wins.
Yeah. 16
I mean,
Gold Glove.
He played for 26 years. I mean, and the guy bounced around. You know one thing? He's never complained or never politics to get in.
Yeah, he and Bert Blyleven are two guys who should be in. Got him with a changeup, a 3-2 changeup, it looked like, from Maddux, and that is his 4th strikeout.
Well, every Thursday is Boneless Wing Day at Buffalo Wild Wings. Get them this Thursday in your choice of 14 award-winning sauces at your Northeast Ohio, Toledo, and Youngstown area Buffalo Wild Wings Grill and Bar. That's the first swinging strikeout tonight.
Ben Broussard 0 for 2, and Maddux misses low and inside, ball 1. That one line, but right at the second baseman. Perez handles it, and they're 2 out.
Set your business apart from the competition. Suites and club seats in Jacobs Field provide perfect venues for every business and social occasion. Full season and mini plans are currently on sale. Call 216-420-4497. See how you can entertain your most important guests.
Belliard wide at third into left field, a base hit. So Ronnie Belliard with a 2-out single. Belliard 2 for 3 tonight.
Getting after it early. Belliard had a 2-strike hit his first time up. Double. Drove in a run. This time jumps on the first pitch.
Maddux and Henry Blanco with a few words as Ramon Vasquez comes to the plate. Indians and Cubs tomorrow night. Final game of the series. And it should be a good one. CC Sabathia and Carlos Zambrano go to first, but Belliard is back. CC a little disappointed that he's not going to be able to hit tomorrow night.
Well, maybe he is.
Yeah.
He's going to hit, and they're going to put Hafner at first.
Come backward to the mound. Easy play for the Gold Glover, and that will do it for the Indians in the 6th, but they lead 4-2.
Grady Sizemore. Maddux trying to come inside and didn't get it in there and left it out over the plate. And Grady Sizemore, it's his 13th home run to make it a 4-1 ball game. That is our KeyBank Key Play replay.
Through the first 6 innings, Cliff Lee with 86 pitches. And that is the 53rd strike that he has thrown. Upstairs with the fastball, and you wonder, maybe Rick, just what you were talking about. Cliff Lee likes to get ahead, throw that first pitch fastball for a strike. Comes out here now. Granted, it's a left-handed hitter, but comes with a first pitch breaking ball.
Well, you know, you've got to mix it up to good hitters. You can't consistently sit there and then just continue to throw the same pitch time after time.
High curveball hit well, but Sizemore has room in center field, and Jones flies out to center field for the first out here in the 7th inning. Well, the Cubs and Indians go at it again tomorrow night right here at Jacobs Field. If you can't make it to the ballpark, get complete coverage on Sports Time Ohio starting at 6:30 with the Indians on deck. Don't miss the Indians and the Cubs tomorrow night right here on Sports Time Ohio. As we said, a beauty, CC Sabathia and Carlos Zambrano. Strike to Enfi Perez, the switch hitter, who's batting right-handed against Cliff Lee, who is for the 13th time in 15 starts working into the 6th inning. Last time out went 6 2/3 against the Yankees. Really had Perez fooled and a good changeup. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Wide at third into left field, a base hit. A 1-2 pitch, and Perez was down and get it. Singles to left field. Sixth base hit of the night for the Cubs. Last night, the Cubs got good production when they had runners on base and runners in scoring position, scoring 12 runs. They were 2 for 19 last night with runners on base and 6 for 8 with runners in scoring position. That's how you score 12 runs.
Yeah, that's right.
Or more.
Getting hits when they count. This guy was a big part of it.
Lifts this one in the air to shallow right. Gutierrez in. Has it. 2 down. Fausto Carmona throwing the Indian bullpen. Juan Pierre, the leadoff hitter, is 0 for 3 tonight against Cliff Lee. Lee misses down low, ball 1. Time called. Good shot of Cliff Lee holding the base runner on. Broussard there. This one hit high and deep to right, but got out in front of it and hooked it foul.
Well, the last 2 pitches, or I shouldn't say 2 pitches, but the sets. Lee came set and just held that pitch. You know, he was waiting to let the base runner make a commitment, and then when the hitter called timeout, his very next time when he came set, he goes to the plate to just change the pattern.
One pitch. That's a bit low and outside apparently, and it's 2-1. Well, you look at Pierre, and he has most of the tools necessary for a good leadoff hitter. Rick, I mean, he makes contact. He doesn't strike out much. But this year, for instance, his on-base percentage is just .295. That's outside 3-1. He has only struck out 23 times, but he has only walked 15. So he goes up there swinging. He's been to the plate almost 300 times.
Yeah, you're right. He's one of those little guys. He's tough to strike out. He's tough to walk. He's going to put it in play.
Jammed and right in the tracks of Gutierrez in right. Franklin has it. And Lee retires the Cubs here in the 7th inning. It's time for the Spitzer 7th inning stretch. When it's time to stretch your automotive dollar, remember, at Spitzer, our world revolves around you. Back here in Cleveland at Jacobs Field, 4-2 Indians. This one, Rick, looked like it had a chance to maybe be a blowout in the first inning when the Indians scored 3 times off Greg Maddux. But knowing Greg Maddux, most of the time he finds it.
Well, doesn't that tell you, like, if you're going to get a good starter, you better get him early, because he made that adjustment after the first inning, settled down, made that one mistake to Grady Sizemore, and he hit it out of the ballpark. Other than that, he has been brilliant.
Well, he made 36 pitches in the first inning. He came back in the second inning and made 8.
Yeah.
In each of the next 3 of the next 4 innings, 10. So, I mean, he's only thrown, what, 93 pitches now, and we're in the 7th inning. Breaking ball there, and it's 2-2. A 2-1 breaking ball at the knees on the outside corner. Arjma and Ullman throwing in the Cubs bullpen.
Yeah, his problem was, and this is the first time, well, in the regular season that he's pitched at this ballpark. But it was control. It was behind the count. They hit the ball hard in that inning, but they did put 3 on the board.
Retired 11 in a row until Sizemore hit a 1-out home run in the 5th inning. That's outside, and it's a full count now on Gutierrez. Maddux started the year winning 5 in a row. It's the first time he's ever done that in his career, but is now 7-6. Couple of ground ball outs for Franklin tonight. Hits this one on the ground. The third baseman bobbles, recovers, throws, got him.
Well, that's where you call not panicking. For Ramirez, that ball hit sharply. Let's see, it came up, might have hit him in the chin. He's joking now with Maddux. Well, watch, the ball comes up, almost popped him in the head, and it falls on the ground, but he was able to get it. The glove hand did not lose his composure and throws him out.
Dusty Baker coming out with Sizemore at the plate. Dusty, I would imagine, Rick, with a guy like Maddux, if you're a manager, when you go out to the mound, you got to find out how he is. I mean, there might be a time or two where he's really struggling and you make the decision before you get to the mound, but with the Maddux out there, a lot of times you're going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Absolutely. Well, Grady hit the home run his last at-bat, you know, and it was an 0-2 pitch. So, Dusty wants to go out and just make sure they're on this, how he's going to pitch it.
Pitches in a fastball, dead central, and that's where Sizemore hit it. He said, move that ball out a little bit, make him hit a fly ball to center field.
Well, Grady jumped on that first pitch. He sure did.
Just missed.
Well, looking for that perfect gift for a young Tribe fan? Next time you're at a ball game, stop by and make your own by Build-A-Bear. Here's section 142 down here at the Jake. And it could be a lot of fun for the kids. 216-420-HITS.
Two outs. Here's Hollingsworth, and Todd Hollingsworth over the top of an off-speed pitch from Maddux. Todd tonight 1 for 3, got the base hit when it counted in the first inning, drove in the first run of the night. Since then has grounded out twice.
You know, here's where we said, oh boy, Maddux struggled a little bit. Still throwing 69% strikes, even though he had that rough first inning.
Has walked only one batter, and that was Peralta in the first inning. Misses outside that time, and it's 2-1. Jam shot. In the back of the infield, right behind second base, is Cedeno. And Maddux has another 1-2-3 inning, but the Indians lead it 4-2.
not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
4-2 Indians, top of the 8th inning. And Todd Walker, the DH, left-handed hitter, will face Cliff Lee. Walker 0 for 3 tonight. Walker, Ramirez, and Nevin here. And Cliff Lee deals a fastball over the outside corner. Strike one.
He may be in just to face this left-hander, and Eric Wedge may go get him.
Activity continues out in the Indians' bullpen.
You know, when you look at the Cubbies last night, Mike, hitters 1 through 6. They were 8 for 24 with 6 runs and 8 ribbies. Tonight, 2 for 17. A couple of runs, 1 RBI. So Cliff Lee has really held down the top part of that lineup.
Well, 2 of those 4 guys are left-handed hitters. We told you the Cubs have had their problems against lefties this year. Cubs 7 and 15 against left-handed starters, and hitting just .223 against left-handed pitchers. Strike 3 called, and yeah, they make that Walker knew it. Todd Walker watched it go by. He's 0 for 4.
And his strikeout number 3 by Cliff comes right there. Spots a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Walker couldn't pull the trigger. Lee will get the out.
And he will face Ramirez. Down low, ball 1. Ramirez has hit more than 30 home runs in each of his last 2 years. This one jams it. And it will be a lazy fly ball to left. Hollingsworth has it, and there are 2 down. We're at Jacobs Field tonight, downtown Cleveland, Ohio. 71 degrees, a beautiful night for baseball. Mike Hegan and Rick Manning with you. Indians leading it 4-2. Don't forget, coming up tomorrow, we'll be right back with you. Indians on deck at 6:30. Game time 7 o'clock. Final game of this series. CC Sabathia and Carlos Zambrano. Indians tonight looking to stop a 4-game losing streak. The Cubs last night saw their streak end at 6. They had lost 6 in a row the entire homestand. Nevin 0 for 3. He has struck out, lined out, and fly to right field. Cliff Lee now has 12 to make that 17 fly ball outs. 12 of the last 13 have been fly ball outs. So he has been getting the Cubs to hit the ball in the air. He's got 17 fly ball outs, 3 strikeouts. That's your strike call. Juan Pierre started the ball game with a ground ball to short. Walker grounded out in the 3rd inning. That one is fouled back. We had a runner thrown out at the plate. Everything else has been hit in the air.
Yes, it has.
Cliff Lee ready to pay off pitch. And it's high, ball 4. He walks Nevin with 2 outs here in the 8th inning, and that will bring the tying run to the plate. Matt Merton, the left fielder. And it will bring Eric Wedge to the mound. Eric Wedge has made the call to the bullpen, so Cliff Lee will hand over the baseball. Good effort by Cliff Lee tonight. He goes 7 2/3 of 2-run, 6-hit baseball. Fausto Carmona on his way in. We're have a break in the action. Indians leading 4-2. We'll be back. On 6 hits, struck out 3, walked 2. Only one of those runs were earned. He is responsible for the runner at first base, and he will give way to the young right-hander Fausto Carmona.
Carmona appearing for the 13th time this year, 1-2 record. Young man is starting to work his way to that back end of the bullpen, isn't he? Right now, the setup man in this situation, looking to get one out here. And that tying run comes to the plate.
25 strikeouts in 31 innings pitched for Carmona, who throws a hard sinker, slider, changeup. Got a splitter. He'll throw it up there 95 miles an hour. 25,049 here tonight. Cliff Lee threw 113 pitches tonight. That's the most pitches in a ball game that he has thrown since back in May when he threw 116 against the Angels.
He was sharp, looked very good.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
Cliff Lee has pitched very well in the month of June. He's turned it around.
Rick, he didn't get strikeouts tonight, but he got jam shots upstairs, fly balls. Yeah,
which is just as good. I mean, when you get strikeouts, sometimes that pitch count goes up, you know, a little higher, a little faster. But he worked quickly. He had 3 walks.
He went around, says the first base umpire. That's Phil Cuzzy. And that's a good sinker from Carmona.
Well, he's got a good one. And yes, he did go.
A ball and 2 strikes. Runner at first base. Merton doesn't look real comfortable up there against Carmona right now, does he? I mean, that was a pretty good slider there that just missed. Trying to get him to chase. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Full count, 3-2. Of course, Carmona, that gutsy performance in New York. Betancourt and Perez in the Indians bullpen. Full count on Merton with Ronnie Cedeno on deck. 4-2 Indians, and he got it. Good sinking fastball, 95 miles an hour, puts him away and ends the 8th inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is 4-2 Indians. Johnny tonight 1 for 2. Walked and scored in the first inning, grounded out in the 3rd, and doubled to right field in the 5th inning. Indians with 4 runs on 7 hits against Maddux, who wants a new baseball. That's a strike called over the outside corner. Misses outside, 1-2.
As you can see, when he gets ahead, that's what he does. I mean, just moves it out a little bit more. Tries to get you to swing. There is Wickman up getting loose.
He will face Cedeno, Jock Jones, and Nicky Perez. This one popped up right side of the infield. First baseman Nevin is there. 1 out.
Make your plans today to attend the biggest and best fireworks show of the season. It's Rock and Blast, and it happens Friday. Friday night when the Reds are in town and the skies of Cleveland will illuminate with incredible combinations of fireworks and sky lighting. All sync to music. 216-420 hits for Rock and Blast.
So Maddux will leave the ball game as we'll have a pitching change here with Travis Hafner at the plate. And Greg Maddux, first time in 15 starts that he's thrown more than 100 pitches, and he's getting a warm ovation as he leaves. I think fans here, Rick, he gave up 4 runs here tonight, but fans know that they've seen a Hall of Fame pitcher here tonight.
Well, you're absolutely right. And you know, they're going to give him that round of applause. He gave up 3 in the first and settled down.
So we'll have a new pitcher to face Travis Hafner. We'll tell you about him when we come back. And before the ball game tonight, Indians honored the state champions. Eric Wedge out there talking to the teams, and Indians want to congratulate each and every one of the players who played on a state championship team. What a thrill that is, huh?
Yes, indeed.
Here's Scott Hare, who worked last night. He'll face Hafner here in the 8th.
Well, this guy's used to working almost every night anyway. We told you that. 86 appearances last year, 34 and a third innings, 27 hits.
Faced Travis Hafner last night, and also Victor Martinez got Hafner to strike out, and Victor grounded out. That was in the 7th inning of last night's ball game. He'll face Hafner and Martinez again here tonight. Pitch, and Hafner hits it right back up the middle of base hit for Travis. He's 1 for 4 tonight.
Well, you take that. They were playing him pretty much straight away, and he goes right back up the middle with it. We have seen teams in the past with the shifts and really play Hafner over there where the shortstop's up. They were pretty conventional. He hits it right up the middle, gets a base hit.
So he's at first base with 1 out, and now Hare will face Victor Martinez 1 for 3 with an RBI. Victor will turn around to the right side and hits a ground ball to short. Could be 2. Second one, relay. 6-4-3 double play as Hare comes in and gets the double play ground ball to end the inning. Will go to the 9th. Indians lead it 4-2. Outs away from snapping a 4-game losing streak, and Eric Wedge will go to his closer Bob Wickman here to face the Cubs in the 9th inning.
Wickman 1-2 coming off that tough loss in Milwaukee on Saturday. In his 20 appearances, a 3.66 ERA. He's got 9 saves. Looking for save number 10 is Bob, who's going to face Cedeno, Jones, and Perez are the scheduled hitters. Trying to save Cliff Lee's 6th victory if he can.
Here's Ronnie Cedeno, who is 0 for 3 tonight. Cliff Lee, the starter, went 7 2/3 innings, allowing 2 runs, 1 earned. Carmona came in and struck out Merton to end the 8th, and now Wickman on here in the 9th to try to save it and to end the losing streak at 4 games. Wick delivers, which is a fastball over the outside corner for a strike. one by everybody. Bob Wickman 9 of 11 in save opportunities. One ball and one strike. This one, good fastball. Threw it right by Cedeno upstairs. Four-seamer.
He didn't bother putting any sink to it. A straight four-seamer, and that one had a ride to it up top. How about the letters? Couldn't catch up to it.
1-2. Missed with the breaking ball. Tried to get him to chase after that high fastball. Wickman has faced the Cubs. Has actually faced them 15 times with 4 saves. Charged by Peralta on the run, throws, and they get the first down here in the 9th inning. Weak ground ball to short, and there's one out. Well, be sure to stay tuned after tonight's game for the Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care post-game show. Jock Jones has a pair of hits tonight and hits this one high and deep to left. Sizemore giving chase at the wall. Reaches up, it's off the wall. Hollingsworth there to cover. And Jones will stand up at second base with a double. Eddie Sizemore going to the wall, couldn't get it, but Hollingsworth coming in behind. However, Jones still has a double.
Yeah, it's one of those balls where you don't know if you can get there as an outfielder, so one goes back to try and catch it, the other one backs up. Jones knew he hit it well. I mean, he has faced Wickman before and has some success, but it was going to be a double anyway off that wall, so they can get the tying run to the plate now. And we're going to get a pinch hitter in John Mabry.
So Mabry will hit for Nefi Perez. Mabry has faced Wickman 3 times. He's 0 for 3 lifetime.
4 for 24 as a pinch hitter this year. Home run and 3 ribbies.
He has done a lot of that during his career in the National League, has Mabry. That's basically been his job, coming off the bench. 1-0 pitch. In the air to shallow left. Coming on is Hollingsworth, and Todd is there. He makes the catch, 2 down. So the Cubs down to their final out, but it's Henry Blanco. And Henry Blanco 1 for 3 tonight with a double. Has faced Wickman just 1 time and has struck out. He has, as we have chronicled, loved to hit against the Indians during his career. The pitch is high, ball 1. Runner at second base is Jock Jones. 1 ball and no strikes. This one fouled out of play. Fans on their feet here, cheering for an Indians victory here tonight. Blanco now 20 hits in 57 at-bats against the Indians. 2 home runs and 11 runs batted in during his career. The outfield for Blanco shaded toward right. The pitch hit on the ground to short. This should do it. Peralta has it. He throws, and that's the ball game. The Indian streak ends at 4 as Bob Wickman comes in to save it for Cliff Lee. gave up the base hit to Jock Jones, but got 2 ground ball outs and a fly ball out. And the Indians beat the Cubs here tonight by a final of 4-2 and beat Greg Maddux, who was a little shaky at the start, Rick. Gave up 3 runs in the first inning, but settled down and looked like the Greg Maddux that you're used to seeing the rest of the way.
It looked like it could have been a long night for him, and he may not even get out of the first inning. As you mentioned, a 36-pitch first inning. But since that, after that, he came out and he shut down and retired 10 straight before the home run of Grady Sizemore. But when he was in that full windup, he was very, very tough. But Cliff Lee was outstanding. He goes to 3-0 in the month of June. So Cliff went out there and matched him pitch for pitch and did very, very well. So Cliff Lee will get his 6th win.
Worked 7 2/3 innings here tonight. And the Indians, as we said, snapped the streak. I think more than anything else, just a big sigh of relief, Rick, to play a good ball game and to win one after being swept in Milwaukee. You don't play very well last night and kind of come back here and win one at home.
Well, it all starts from that guy in the center of the diamond when he can go out there and put on a good performance, and certainly Cliff Lee did that tonight, so it was great to see that. And you know, that momentum starts from that guy in the center of the diamond.
Bob Wickman with his 11th save of the year, and Cliff Lee gets his 6th victory of the year, and he is down on the field with us right now. Cliff, Mike Hegan, Rick Manning upstairs, congratulations on a good win here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. It went pretty good.
We were commenting tonight, not a lot of strikeouts, but you had, I don't know if you realized that you had 17 fly ball outs tonight.
Yeah, I'm pretty much a fly ball pitcher, so, you know, I don't get a whole lot of ground balls, so, you know, that's pretty much my game. That's not really good, but that's how I get them out usually.
Well, you came out. You've been very aggressive. The month of June's been very good. You're 3-0, and I mean you've pitched great in every start this month. Very aggressive. You go out there and you're throwing a lot of strikes, mixing in a good changeup in that curveball. And I mean, when you go out there on a 4-game losing streak, last time we won, Cliff, you want.
Yeah, definitely. I want to just go out there and attack the hitters and try to work ahead in the count, throw strikes, and you know, mix it up on them. And I was able to do that today.
Any thoughts as you were going out to the ball game and to pitch tonight that you were pitching against a future Hall of Famer in Greg Maddux?
Yeah, definitely. It's an honor to say I pitched against a guy like that, and it's definitely an honor to say I beat him. So I'm really happy with that.
Well, you've got 5 wins at this ballpark this year. I mean, you feel comfortable here, huh? 5 out of your 6 wins coming right here?
Yeah, I feel comfortable here. I feel comfortable on the road, too. You know, you still got to go out there and make your pitches. But, you know, fortunately, I've got my wins here, so it's great to see the fans come out and support us.
Well, Cliff, it looks like you've got it back together. You struggled a little bit during the month of May, but throwing quality strikes, especially early in the count, and it looks like you're back to where you were late last year.
I hope so. You know, there's a long season left, so we got plenty of work to do.
All right, congratulations on your win tonight. The Indians snap a 4-game losing streak, and Cliff Lee the winner here tonight. So the final, the Indians win it 4-2, and we will be back.